I can. Especially Jim Brandon, you were asked some questions about the 9mm and that it isn't the most powerful gun. There are other guns that could do more damage. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Would you acknowledge, though, that it's much more difficult to control and fire it quickly and accurately than a .22?
Yes, if we're going by the calibers, yeah, 50 caliber would be a lot more difficult to carry around than a 9mm. Yes.
And then okay. And you were asked a lot about whether or not James or Jennifer, how many times they went to the shooting range, or if Jennifer ever went took them at a different time. You don't really know, though, correct?
No, all I know is the evidence that I found and that was presented today and that I testified to.
Okay, well, let's talk about that for a minute. What have you reviewed? Just summarize what you've reviewed.
So I've reviewed surveillance camera video from both the school, the firearms range, Facebook returns for James and Jennifer Crumbley, Instagram returns, the forensic download of 7 cell phones, I believe, belonging to James, Jennifer, and the shooter. The entire case file, other interviews, and things like that. Basically everything related to this case.
Okay, when you say you reviewed the phones, that means all the content that was on the phone, correct?
Yes.
Going back to quite a long time.
Yes.
In fact, some of the cell phone data went back several years.
Yes.
Okay, and on those phones, you also reviewed every video taken by Jennifer Crumbley.
Yes.
Correct? Every picture, correct?
Yes.
All of the Facebook messages from the return that she hadn't deleted, you reviewed those, correct?
Yes.
All of the communications between the two, Jennifer and James, correct?
Yes.
Videos that were recorded by her of herself, correct?
Yes.
Videos of the two of them fighting, correct?
Your Honor,
No, Your Honor, let me finish.
this is all
Whoa.
leading questions.
Okay. The question was, you don't know too much about this family, do you? Is that true?
In the context of this investigation, I've learned a lot about the Crumbley family. Based on the way the question was asked, I thought it was more in the lines of, in the same way of asking if I knew the shooter, do I know the Crumbleys? I don't personally know them, but in this investigation, yes, I've had a very detailed look at their life over the last several years, especially the year leading up to the shooting, yes.
Okay, and you were asked about the second video the shooter took of the Caltech.
Yes.
Okay, and you were asked if you knew whether or not someone was a parent, Jennifer Crumbley or James Crumbley was next to him, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's just say for a moment, they were. Do you still have any problem with that video?
Objection. His opinion about having a problem with it is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Do you have concerns about safety when you look at that video, regardless of who was next to him?
Yes, based on the height of the table, the direction the firearm was pointed would either have been based on the way the wood grain goes, it would have either been at the neighbor's house or out the front window of the house. And because the height of the table, potentially, and with the porch, I'm not quite sure if it would be head height or stomach or above, but it would definitely be pointed in a direction where if the firearm was shot, it could travel outside the home.
Okay. You were asked about whose responsibility it was, or did you know, to lock up the weapon, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Whose responsibility is it when a firearm, a 9mm, is in your home? Whose responsibility is when you know there's a minor there?
Based on my understanding of the pamphlet that was handed out, I can say that it would not be on the juvenile.
All right. You were asked about that meeting in the counselor's office, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the worksheet that you viewed,
Yes.
correct? Okay. And you were asked if you don't know what the counselor said about it, correct? And your answer was no, you don't.
Correct, I said I wasn't personally there for what he said about it.
Okay, but you know that the worksheet was shown to Jennifer Crumbley, correct?
Yes,
And you know that the worksheet had the words, help me, correct?
yes,
Okay, and the worksheet had the words, blood everywhere, correct?
yes, it did.
Okay, and you know that that worksheet
Your
was
Honor,
both texted.
Objection to leading. This is all leading.
Do you know whether or not Jennifer Crumbley saw that worksheet?
Yes,
All right, and how do you know that?
it was on her cell phone and she sent it to several people after she received it.
Okay, and do you know that if the worksheet that she was shown had the words, help me, blood everywhere?
It did.
Okay, thank you.
You can step down and you're excused. All right. Okay. So I know it's been a long day, but